Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to. I have no clue what this is going to be. Someone asked if I would do quarter one readings again, even though I just did the yearlies, and I said sure. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at the five main things that are going to be coming up for you during this first quarter, or like the five things that are going to change. And in your first row, each row is basically going to be one thing, and at the end, I'm gonna pull five theme cards like I normally do, and that will be number 5. I don't know, you'll see. But anyway, in your first row, you have this black cat card, and it says your luck will change soon. It has been showing up in your readings that, some of you could be worried about your finances, Pisces, or you could be worried about like where financially things are going, but you have the 5 of Pentacles here. So I feel like for some of you that there is going to be a change for you financially. And, I feel obviously it's going to be a positive financial change. I do feel like you need to be like more bold, more aggressive. We see that here with the King of Wands. So I would definitely encourage you to embrace this King of Wands energy, which I'm pretty sure I've been encouraging you to embrace the King of Wands energy for, since the beginning of time, right? Since before you were born, I've been telling you this. So I feel like for some of you, you need to get moving. You need to be assertive. You need to build things. I would also encourage you not to run away from things either. Just looking at this reading really quickly without even, I've barely looked at it. But I do feel like there's a need to kind of face things head on, whatever projects, businesses, whatever careers you're working on. It's I feel like you need to face things head on in career, especially in regards to your finances, even if you're retired, right? I think it would be much better for you to be bold, brave, assertive. Sometimes I think with the 5 of Pentacles even, it's it can say you're left out in the cold. Maybe you have a bunch of debts or a bunch of things that you're worried about. But it's tarot is meant to be a solution. People always accuse me of being too positive. I'm I'm not positive or negative. I offer solutions. That's what I do. And the 5 of Pentacles says, there's a place where you can get out of the cold. It's right here. It says church right here. This right here is an anchor on the 5 of Pentacles, and it kind of represents just doing the same thing over and over and over again. You have the 9 of Swords here. 9 of Swords is having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. I always think at times like this, maybe it's a good time for you to negotiate your debts. Maybe it's a good time for you to, if you have debts, call up whoever you have a debt with and be like, hey, I want to work on this. I want to negotiate it, or I'm just going to go bankrupt, right? It's what's the worst that can happen? It's everybody's afraid of going bankrupt, but it's I don't know, Donald Trump went bankrupt like 19 times. So it's why can't you do it, right? Use the system is what I would say. But at the same time, if you want to take care of these things, there's probably a way is what I'm trying to say. And so I would figure that out with the 5 of Pentacles. For some of you, I don't even think it doesn't even need to be that dramatic. Maybe you don't have any debts. Maybe you just want to make more money. And what I would say here is look, if we go like this, King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, divine counterparts, number 1. But number 2, it's if you're looking for money, this says tap into your resources, which might not be money, might be your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. And the King of Pentacles is you stabilizing your finances. I also feel that there could be some sort of, I'm getting the word game changer here on the judgment card. It's there's something that, I feel like I said this to you in your 2023 reading, just in general. I can't remember, if I'm being honest. But I feel that, I think it was you, where I said something where it's almost you think you're going in one direction. Maybe it was your January reading. I'm not sure. But somebody will leave it down below. But anyway, it's you think you're going one direction. I kind of feel like there could be a very quick about face where maybe you make some change in your business that leads to a lot of success, and it kind of looks like a game changer type situation. And again, you have that black cat card which says your luck will change soon. I always say that on the Queen of Wands, which you don't have here yet. Doesn't matter, she might come up, but on the Queen of Wands, she has a black cat, and the black cat represents, during the times of tarot, black cats were considered unlucky, but she has a black cat because she just likes the black cat. She doesn't care what anyone thinks. And so, I kind of get that energy here on this black cat card that your luck is changing because you're changing. Because there's some sort of game changer type vibe going on in this, first row here. So I kind of feel like this first row, the first thing is it's talking about some sort of game changer. With the Judgment card, you have the 5 of Wands. Probably conflicted. You are probably conflicted about making this change because It's like, I think what I said in your January or whatever reading I said it in, it's like if you tell people, oh, I'm going to do this, and then you change. I'm sure as a Pisces, I totally get it. It's like you've had many experiences where people are like, oh, why can't you just be happy? Why can't you just settle for what you said you were going to do in the first place? But I feel like you've just been readjusting. It's like, and maybe now you're landing on something, so don't listen to other people, is what I feel like this is saying. Five Wants to me is also an adventure. It says go on the adventure. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords. Yep, you're much more, see, there are, like I said, I feel like there are like game-changing solutions to any problem where you're feeling left out in the cold. I feel like there are game-changing solutions, but you have to see them. The whole point of the Eight of Swords is that it's a card of self-imposed restriction. She's keeping herself stuck normally when there's the lady on the Eight of Swords, but she could easily set herself free. She just has to do it. So for a lot of you, I feel like a lot of you could be keeping yourself stuck in certain ways. Part of me feels like facing your problems head on. There could be some problems, whatever problems you're dealing with. I don't think it matters here in this row. It doesn't have to be debt. It could be anything. I was just using that as an example. And it's like, she's standing there in the Eight Swords, and the story of the Eight of Swords is that she thinks there are people in front of her, or there are people that are keeping her stuck there, but if she took her blindfold off, she would see there's no one there keeping her stuck in the swords. So I think as a Pisces, us Pisces make a much, much bigger deal out of a lot of things, a lot of, problems in our life. We make them much worse than they actually are. So I kind of feel like this first row is asking you to be brave and face any issues that you're dealing with. With the King of Wands, you have the Death card because that's what will cause the change. It's like facing your problem instead of running away from it is what this first row is talking about, if you have any problems. And it might not be like a bad problem. Maybe you just want to make more money. So it's like there's something that you're trying to overcome here, but it's like you have to face the things that you normally run away from is kind of what I'm getting here. In your second row, you have this Wolf Spirit says, turn knowledge into wisdom. Again, you can learn all day long, Pisces, but until you put something into action, it's not going to be anything. So I feel like for a lot of you that there could be a lot of success here, and I feel like you've been doing a lot of learning, but like now it's time to take action. Again, I forgot to say, I meant to say this at the beginning of the reading, that these readings are like the next 3 months, but really I want these readings to go till basically the end of March. So literally you can think of this time frame as to the end of March, but I think between now and the end of March, and as we're going into April, which makes perfect sense astrologically, I feel that you are probably going to feel more and more and more like you want to take action on something. And it's funny that I wanted to split this up into 5 different things, but your reading is basically talking about one thing. It's whatever you want to create or whatever you've been learning about for a long time. And you don't have to literally be learning about something. Maybe you've been experiencing a lot of lessons, 9 of Swords, right? And I would be looking at any of the lessons you've been learning or any of the things you've been going through and saying, what have I been learning? Like, what is the common denominator here is what this reading is saying. If there is something in common between the lessons that you've been learning, and it's like one of those things, maybe you need to look at, maybe you've been learning the same lesson in love, in business, in health. It's like maybe they're different situations, but the lesson is basically the same, right? And you have to be honest with yourself when you do this. But I feel like if you look at, wherever the obstacles keep coming up, and I again, without knowing your situation, you're going to have to be honest with yourself. That's why I'm saying this, because I can't answer this question for you. But it's like, I feel like if you do that, then you're going to see what you learned, and then you're going to be able to take that and put it into action, which will make you very successful. So I would encourage you to do it. You have the Page of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and the Emperor here. I feel for a lot of you that, again, you're going to have to look at the past. The Page of Swords is looking at the Judgment card. The Judgment card, of course, can be your past or kind of like revisiting the past. And it can be a wake-up call. The Page of Swords is about being curious and looking into something. I do feel like, again, by the way, I do feel like there's love here, but I would say this is a very personal reading. I feel like this is mostly about you and, needing to look at the things that you've learned or the things that you've been through and how you can improve upon these things. I also get a lot of luck on him. Sometimes I feel when we have the Page of Swords in reverse, this almost looks like a wishbone to me right here on his neck. And I don't know. It's jumping out to me, so I feel like there could be luck coming in through you looking at what you have learned. And again, we're not living in the past here. We're just looking at it to see what we've learned so we can start taking action on it right now, right? You have the Page of Pentacles as well. It's almost like something is removing fear from you here is what I'm getting from the Queen of Pentacles, sorry. It's almost like you're no longer afraid of something is what I'm getting. We have this rabbit right here. The rabbit can represent fertility and abundance, of course, but it can also represent fears and anxiety. If you've ever seen a rabbit, they're nervous little creatures, right? But she's focusing on the pentacle. She's not focusing on the fears. And this has been a major theme for you. And so again, I feel like as long as you're focusing on the things that you have in front of you, and as I always say, do what you can with what you got right in front of you right now, I feel you will be very successful. Also, if you want love, I do feel there could be an Earth sign coming in, could be a Capricorn, Taurus, could also be an Aries, because you have the Emperor right here if you want love. But mostly, I feel like this is talking about taking action. It's like, I feel you have a very bright future, Pisces, but if you obviously don't do anything with it, nothing is going to happen. And I would get moving. I feel that the major theme for you for many years to come is basically to get off the hamster wheel right here, Nine of Swords, to stop hiding. It's like to stop hiding in a shell, and you have to, maybe it should be turn into a shark. I feel like you need to turn into a shark, Pisces, or that's the process that you're going through. But it's you can't be afraid to swim in the deep ocean, right? You have to be willing to do that, and you can't hide under a rock, in some sort of coral reef, as beautiful and dreamy as that might be for you, Pisces, right? Because you're oh, look at all these other little friendly fish and all this other stuff. It's no, it's time for you to bite people's heads off. With the Page of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Basically, the universe saying I meant what I said. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Wands. We were talking about adventure with the Five of Wands. Knight of Wands a little bit inconsistent, but again, it's funny that I was saying that you could be changing direction, because Knight of Wands, he has some sort of big goal, but he doesn't really care how he gets there. He's just, where there's a will, there's a way with him. He wants something and he figures it out. He also doesn't care if things change. His goal might be more of an energy. He might say to himself, I want to be a YouTuber, for example, right? And it's before I had this channel, I had another channel that you're not going to find. Don't worry. But I had another channel that was totally different, right? And it's and I had that channel for 2 years before this one. And so it's and that led to this. And, it's you never know. It's I just had the energy of wanting to be on YouTube. I didn't really care how I got there. And that's what I feel like this is saying. It's saying, don't be afraid to, change direction. Don't be afraid. You have the resources, Queen of Pentacles, but don't be afraid to make a change. With the Emperor energy, you have the Three of Cups, some sort of celebration coming in for you. I really feel that there are this is pieces of the puzzle coming together as well. Three of Cups is normally a card of community, and I would definitely recommend that you start working with other sharks. If you want to start a business or want to get into a relationship, again, you have to find people who are matching your energy, and that could be a major lesson that you've been learning over the years, is that you have to have people who are at the same level as you. And a lot of people seem to be kind of going through that right now. Next, in your next row, you have this card that says inspiration. I mean, I'm always saying this to you. It says, spark of inspiration will ignite brilliant new ideas. Game changer. I'm telling you right now. It is essential that you are clear about what you want. Follow your heart. There you go. Own your time and give it meaning. Don't let it pass you by. Yeah, no more wasting your time on things that don't, fulfill you, that don't give energy to you, people, places, and things. Everything. Again, I would definitely say, no more wasting your time. But the inspiration thing, totally. I mean, I've been saying this to you for 2 years at least, to follow your inspirations. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is desire. He desires to do something, and he does it. It's just that simple. He doesn't allow silly little things to get in the way. You have the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Again, I feel this is something, this is almost the thing that needs to be overcome here for you, Pisces, is this repeat thing. I would say, where are you repeatedly stuck, or where in your life is the story the same? And this is what needs to change. It's very interesting, because if you're an Aquarius rising, Aquarius keeps getting this energy of needing to get off a hamster wheel. I'm an Aquarius rising. That's what I'm saying. A lot of you Pisces might be Aquarius rising, or you might have Aquarius in your chart, an important placement. And if you do, then I would say this is definitely true for you. That, there's some sort of, and you might be born close to Aquarius, like I am too. And that might also be, very important for you. So I would say if you're born close to Aquarius, or you have an Aquarius placement, definitely I would say there's something that needs to come to an end. There's something that needs to be faced. There's something that needs to be overcome. And you can do it. And when you do it, you're going to feel so good. You are going to be breaking this spell that is the Nine of Swords. The interesting thing is you have the Queen of Swords with the Devil right here. It's almost like you see it. So I feel a lot of you, it's you see clearly what could be holding you back. I don't even think that devil has to be anything toxic. It's not like it's a toxic thing that you're doing. I think it's just maybe something that needs to come to an end. Maybe you're bound to it. Maybe it's something that steals your energy like the devil, right? I don't think it has to be like all that bad, but at least you see it clearly now. The other thing is that you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is a card of convention. The King of Pentacles is a card that says, it's a card of convention. It's a card of the way things have always been done. So it does say that there has to be a change. Something has to change in your life for you to totally change your story. And that's what I feel like you're doing here. I do see that, again, I see that your finances are increasing. I feel like you're getting a lot of ideas. I would encourage you to write down your ideas. I would encourage you not to share your ideas with people as well. And, like, only people who support your ideas. Again, one of my favorite books of all time, War of Art, he talks all about how it's like not actually true that you shouldn't share your ideas with people, but you have to be very, very careful of who you share your ideas with. If you're sharing your ideas with people who are like, that's great, that are like supporting you, that want to help you grow your ideas, that want to help you support you and are always encouraging you and pushing you to execute on your ideas, then great, share your ideas with those types of people. But if you're sharing your ideas with just any old Joe Blow, it might not be a good idea because maybe they hate on your ideas and then you don't want to do them. I would encourage you to write down your ideas though, because I just feel a rush of ideas, like so many ideas popping into your head on like how you can make more money, things that you could do. And it's like, I think if you write them down and process them, you're going to see what ones are good and what ones aren't. So that's what I would do there. But let's see. With the King of Pentacles, you actually have two cards, Nine of Wands, and the, I'm dropping it here, the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice. Like I said, a lot of ideas. The Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. I feel like you need a playground. You know what I mean? I feel like you need something where you can test your ideas very, very quickly and where you can see what works. I would recommend a book called Skip the Line by James Altucher, one of my favorite books of all time. I've read it twice already this year because, I'm a dummy. I fell on my head when I was 10 years old, literally. People think I'm joking when I say that. No, I literally did. And after that, I started failing school. And, for me to learn things, I have to read like a book like 20 times, right? And what I would say here is that book, it talks basically about kind of like ways that you can test your ideas, ways that you can try new things, ways that you can create a playground, basically, right? With the Queen of Swords, you have the Tower. I do feel like this is a sudden realization that you're having. To me, the most powerful combination in the tarot is right here, Tower, Judgment. You have both in this reading. To me, having both these cards in a reading is like having a major revelation. It's having a major wake-up call, realizing that something had to collapse for you to move forward in life. I do feel like some of you are having a Tower moment in the sense that maybe you're just starting something new in your life. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Hierophant. For some reason, I thought you had the Hierophant twice, maybe because I saw the Emperor or something, but I feel like for some of you, this is like just about learning lessons. The Hierophant, to me, it kind of reminds me of Neptune and Pisces energy. People always correct me, and they're like, Hierophant isn't Neptune and Pisces. That's not what I said. So clean out your ears, number one. Number two, what I would say here is that it reminds me of Neptune and Pisces energy, which is kind of needing to challenge traditional belief, which is kind of like the King of Pentacles as well. In your last row here, you have this Direction Journey card, the Ship card, I should say, and this key. It says lock, unlock. So again, some of you could be going on a journey as well. It could literally be traveling, but for others, it could be you building something in your life. Again, you have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. Both cards, to me, represent building energy. They represent building something, creating something, putting something together. And so I feel a lot of you could be doing that. You have the Six of Swords, the Devil, and the Ace of Swords. I do feel some of you could be cutting out a devil-type energy here in your life. Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. And so I feel like some of you are kind of like not afraid to start over. I feel also something here, like if there are certain warnings that you're getting, like I feel like you need to trust those warnings. I don't want to scare you. I don't think this is anything scary, right? It's like just me, for example. Like I've noticed a lot of weird changes all of a sudden on YouTube. So it's kind of like lit a fire under my ass to get some other things going that I've been, kind of just delaying for whatever reason, right? And I want to stress, I don't think YouTube is going anywhere. I just think some of these changes, they kind of make me a little bit nervous, right, as a YouTuber. So, I'm kind of working on some other things. And I feel like some of you need to pay attention to those warnings. Like if if you have a job or a business or anything, especially financial, and you're getting those warnings, I think you need to move, like start building something else or get something lined up, right? Same thing with the devil. Devil, I feel this could be a person or a situation that you are separating away from. And again, if you're dealing with a person where something doesn't feel right, I feel like you need to trust that feeling with the devil. That's basically what that's saying to me. You also have the Ace of Swords, which is like a victory. So I feel like this will probably lead to a future victory in your life. Ace of Swords also sacrifice. Six of Swords is kind of like a sacrifice because this woman and the child, they are leaving everything behind them on the other shore to move to the calmer shore. They're only going across the shores with the clothes on their back. They're leaving everything behind. So it would not surprise me if there was like some sort of game changer change in direction in your life over the next 3 months that totally changes the game but leads you to a much better place in your life, one where you can have victories. The sword is above the mountains as well, and I feel like this is what you are setting yourself up for, is being able, the mountains are right here. The Ace of Swords says there will always be obstacles in life, but you will easily be able to overcome those obstacles because the sword is above the mountains. I kind of feel like you're reclaiming your crown here, Pisces, but again, I'm not saying this is something that's going to be easy. You have to put the work in, obviously, to do this, but let's see. With the Six of Swords, you have the Lovers. Yeah, I feel like some of you could be separating from love or moving towards something else in love. Kind of feel like there could be a Scorpio or an Earth sign coming in for you here. I feel like if you want love, you have to open up. Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands. It's like, you could be telling too many stories to yourself in love. This could be due to past love situations, but I do feel there could be love coming in for you here. So I don't know. There you go. With the, I don't know what I was going to say there, Pisces. With the Devil, you have the Eight of Cups. Some of you definitely could be walking away from a person. Eight of Cups is like walking towards fulfillment. Devil, Tower, I mean, just putting it all together. And with the Ace of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah. Knight of Swords says, don't be too hasty. Take your time. But I do feel like there are rapid kind of changes coming in for you here, Pisces. So we're going to pull 5 more cards. And this is going to be one more thing, although this reading didn't really work how I wanted it to. You have this vase card that says Secret Admirer. I definitely feel that there could be love coming in for you here. You have the Lovers. I would open up to it. I have a feeling that when I do quarter 2, that's where love really will be coming in for you. I'm cheating because of the astrology. Most of you probably just based off of Pisces astrology, I think from quarter 2 on is like a really good love time for you. I wouldn't be rushing into something right now if I were you either. I would just take your time. You have this Eagle. It says triumph over obstacles. There you go. So I feel like a lot of you could be overcoming some obstacles in your life. You have this July card, and this Dagger card says fears, worries, tense situation. I kind of feel like maybe this past July of 2022, you had a situation that you dealt with. And I don't know. I feel like you're just kind of, your next card here says time to get out of a situation. So again, if you were dealing with a situation in the month of July 2022, I feel like this card is saying you need to, maybe this is what your Eight of Cups saying, maybe this is what you need to completely walk away from, Pisces. You also have this Horseshoe. It says good luck. You have 2 cards now. Your luck will change soon on the Black Cat, and you have this good luck card. So clearly there's a lot of luck, but Pisces, quarter 1 you're off to a good start. Again, it's not perfect for sure. The astrology is still a disaster, but if I were you, I would focus on that Nine of Swords. Like, what is the Nine of Swords in your life that you can overcome, that you can face head on and conquer, turn into a shark? You'll be all set. So, thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your quarter.